Welcome back to our podcast. I'm the gentleman, accompanied by the disturbed Southern Belle.
Hello.
And today will be the last episode of mine on mythologies. This one being Egyptian mythologies, unless you decide that you want us to do another one. This episode will be more of a single story. It's a few different ones tied together to be one story. All of it basically just about the beginning of how everything started and centered around the gods, the major ones at least. So in the beginning there was an endless chaotic ocean of darkness, which sounds kind of familiar, like one of the previous stories. This was called Noon, and from this ocean of chaos came this enormous pyramid, which the Great Pyramid. At the top of the pyramid was a single lotus flower, which is why the lotus flower is considered a holy object, more or less. And from this flower came a pillar of light. And this light pretty much just scared away all the darkness. And the source of the light was the god Ra. And he is typically associated with light, power, and all of that. And from him came the first generation of gods. And these gods were Shu, the god of air, and Tefnut, the goddess of rain. And wanting to see what was beyond the pyramid, having just had their whole lives centered around that, Shu and Tefnut dove into the waters. However, after some time had passed, Ra had become distressed because his children had not returned. And so he sent Hathor, who just exists now, and is a goddess of sky, and also typically associated with fertility and love, which is a very common thing for gods and goddesses to be associated with.
True.
Like, there are several of them that are associated with fertility and love.
Although I don't know what the sky plays into that, but okay.
I don't either. It's completely unrelated. But Ra sent Hathor out to find them. And they had eventually returned safely. And with his children returned to him, Ra began to cry. And from his tears came human beings.
Okay. Sure. Why
Perfectly logical.
Well, we came out of somebody else's blood and I think we came from everything, so why not tears?
True. Ironically enough, everything but someone's semen.
Which would make more sense, to be honest, but whatever.
Anyways, so Ra had ruled the earth after having created humans, and he ruled with the title of the first pharaoh, and had granted people of Egypt with several sacred animals, among which were the ox and the lion, which are typical holy animals.
Right.
But as his greatest gift, he had created the Nile River, upon the banks of which men would create a great civilization to please the gods.
Oh, wow. You gotta please the gods.
I don't know why.
I don't either.
The gods are usually giant dicks.
Yeah, well, true. I guess that's why.
Ironically enough, Ra was not.
No?
The Egyptian gods, from what I've seen, are actually decent.
Well, that's definitely a turd.
With the exception of a few, but that's to be expected. There's always some sort of antagonist.
Right.
But anyways, Ra had spent most of his time in a human form among his people, and that had eventually caused him to grow old. And
that's weird.
I know, a god grew old because he spent his time in a human form.
But it doesn't really seem like the form itself would turn old just because he was using it. I guess it just mimics what it's supposed to mimic fully.
My personal theory is that it mimicked the entire body, organs and all.
Right.
Which would age because of the way humans are built.
Right.
They're meant to age. Or we're meant to age. Our organs are.
Right. Maybe so.
Or maybe he just wanted to appear to have gotten older in order to become accepted. I don't know.
Maybe that too. Who knows?
People do tend to fear what they don't understand and take comfort in the familiar.
True.
But anyways, as he grew old, people actually began to worship something else. The god, or not the god, but the serpent, who's sometimes depicted as a god, the serpent Apophis, who is actually, when he is depicted as a god, he's depicted as the god of chaos, destruction, and darkness.
Well, who else would you want to follow?
No idea.
I mean, that sounds like just the best parts of life.
So naturally this angered Ra, and he sent Sekhmet, who just exists now. She's the warrior goddess, and ironically enough, the goddess of healing.
No, that's a little contradictory. So that's tough to cause wounds, and then she helps heal. Okay.
But not only that, as the goddess of healing, who better for Ra to send to organize the massacre of all of his people?
Well, yeah. I guess that wouldn't have been anybody better. Yeah.
Some people did survive, but not for long. They were drowned in the river of blood that flooded the civilization.
Jesus! Oh my God! That got dark in a hurry. My God! So...
And keep in mind what I said a while ago. Some of the Egyptian gods are the better ones.
I know. My goodness.
Including Ra.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, it's no worse than other stories. I mean, I guess. But yeah, that one's pretty crazy, to be honest.
But, so, flooded the civilization, killing everyone else. And then, seeing as his earthly reign was coming to an end, he boarded his solar ship.
What? What is a solar ship?
It's a boat that floats in the sky.
What would be the purpose? You just float around the sky, floating, never landing or going anywhere.
Keep in mind, Ra is the god of light. The sun.
Okay. So he could just keep his solar boat, floating around? What? I don't know. God.
Basically, his thing is, he flies above the surviving mortals. Apparently,
taunting them, saying, "Look out! Watch out for the river of blood that's gonna come drown y'all!" Ho ho ho!
He flew above them during the day, and at night he would go over the horizon and enter the Underworld, the land of the dead. And in the Underworld, he would face the serpent Apophis.
Wow.
I don't know.
I mean,
his people worshipped the god of death.
So he's just jealous or whatever, sort of sounds like.
Well, see, Apophis' whole deal, he wanted to destroy.
Right.
He wanted to cover the world in darkness as it had been before. And so Ra couldn't have that. Because Apophis would have killed all the mortals that apparently exist somewhere else in the world.
You know, you would kind of think they would be each other's weaknesses. If one's the god of light and one's the god of darkness and chaos,
you would think so.
That they sort of cancel each other out, but I guess not.
I mean, they never kill each other. Neither of them ever kills the other. They fight every night in the Underworld.
Right. I've been saying it's like two Supermans and both of them are holding kryptonite. They're both got the same weaknesses and they got exactly what to fight the other one's weakness. So.
No, I think it's two Supermans and neither of them are holding kryptonite.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Right. So
because they would both be mortals and they would have a chance to kill each other.
Right. Oh my gosh. It's nuts.
Yeah. Anyways.
So he's flying around, taunting the people, telling them wait for the river of blood, come drown them.
No, I think he's actually supposed to be the sun or leading the sun.
So he's kind of like Helios or something, I guess.
He's Helios.
Basically.
He's basically Helios. He's discount Helios, in my opinion.
Well, it's what it sounds like. Because it sounds like he's like going across, and when he goes into the underworld, then it's night, so he's got to be dragging the sun with him or something, you would think. But he's got his solar-powered ship instead of our chariot. Okay. His solar ship. Oh, my God.
That's the way that it describes it.
I believe you, but it's just kind of weird.
Anyways, during the night, he would enter the land of the dead, And in the underworld, he would face the serpent Apophis, and each new dawn meant victory for the light over darkness.
That actually sounds more like he's like riding through, right? Got the sun over here and it's daytime. Okay, well, he gets over the part where I guess Australia is, but they don't know that exists, of course. And he's on the other side of the world, basically. And then Apophis is just chasing him, and he just breaks over again and gets back and oh, well, it's okay now.
It's a race. I just love to imagine it as a race.
It sounds more like a race than them fighting.
I love to imagine that Apophis is chasing after Ra, but Ra is chasing after Apophis.
Yeah, but I mean, because how is it triumphing over the darkness if the darkness comes back every day? So, I mean, you're not really triumphing, you're just sort of winning.
He's just biding time, apparently.
I guess. Okay.
What it sounds like to me, actually, what it legitimately sounds like to me is they're fighting for a few hours, 12 hours roughly, give or take, just random. Well, actually, I guess it'd be 8 hours or something.
Thereabouts, but yeah, I get what you're saying. We'll say 12 just to make it easier broke down, but yes. Yeah,
then all of a sudden, Ra just runs away, and then it's daytime again.
Right. I know, that's what makes it, it makes it sound something like that or something more.
It doesn't sound like he's actually winning anything. He's just running away whenever the time is right.
That's what it sounds like.
And keeping Apophis at bay, more or less.
Right. Okay.
But anyways, after all this happened, Ra gave birth to Nut and Geb.
Okay. Newton?
Nut.
No,
and Geb.
Nut. Oh, Nut and Geb. Newton, and that's, okay, gotcha. That makes a lot more sense. That threw me, because I was like, Newton? I don't remember any god named Newton.
Well, actually, I might have this wrong. Maybe Nut and Geb. Well, came before that. I don't know exactly. My notes get very vague here. I think I accidentally erased something and didn't notice.
Okay, well, they're here now.
Yeah, Nut is the goddess of sky. Geb is the earth.
Is it a god or goddess, or just the earth itself?
Geb is a god.
And he's kind of like Gaia, sorta-ish?
Yeah, actually, Geb is Gaia, and Nut is Uranus, I think. I don't remember which one it was last week, or last episode. It wouldn't be last week, but we kind of took a break for stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, they're very similar. Let's just say that. Okay, gotcha.
Anyways, so the gods Nut and Geb gave birth to a whole new generation. Isis, the god of magic, motherhood, and healing.
Another healing god.
Yep.
All right.
But also the goddess of magic. Like pure magic.
And then motherhood.
None of this goes together.
No. I guess you want to see me pull a baby out of my... I have no clue, to be honest. I mean, seriously, I don't know how they relate. It's kind of goofy when you think about it.
Good one. So, remember how Apophis is the god of death and destruction?
Right. Chaos, yes.
And chaos. Well, here comes Nephis, the goddess of death and darkness.
Okay.
Isis' sister. Or Isis' sister, whatever.
Right.
Then there's Set, the god of deserts, storms, and violence.
Okay.
Set is a very, very well-known one. Same as Isis.
Violence, that's very specific.
I know. So is storms and deserts.
Yeah.
These are more specific than usual.
They are, really.
Or than other religions.
Yeah, that's narrowing it down quite a bit.
Then again, there were, God knows how many of these gods and goddesses.
Oh, yeah. There's probably even more that even the Greeks and different ones had that maybe weren't even written down. You never know, that were just like really lesser knowns. Who knows?
Probably, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if crap like that got lost over the years. I mean, let's be honest.
Very much true. But, so there was Set. Then there was Osiris, another one of the very well-known ones. The god of fertility, agriculture, and the afterlife.
Okay, well, I get fertility and agriculture because they're kind of both birthing things, birthing trees out of the ground, birthing babies. And then the afterlife, though, so that's like from birth to grave, huh?
And grave to birth.
Right. Cradle to grave. Well, so that one, he's not
Osiris-
so bad. His kind of makes sense then.
Okay, so I'll say this outright. I do cover it again later because he's going to be a target of one or two of the stories.
Right.
Osiris is often associated with death, birth, and birth, death, and rebirth.
Right.
He's
Well, that makes sense.
associated with reincarnation because of, again,
Right.
I cover that later.
Well, I mean, it would make sense anyway, even if it's not like related to because of a myth, because rebirth, I mean, that could sort of be the same thing. You just coming back again and again, but the same basic soul.
Pretty much, yeah. So these gods and goddesses would reign on earth as Ra reigned in the heavens.
Mm-hmm.
In his solar chariot.
Oh my, no, solar ship.
Ship, yeah, I'm sorry. You got me thinking of Helios now.
Uh-huh. Well, it might as well be the same difference. His solar chariot / ship / we don't know, blimp. Who knows what this thing looks like?
Not joking. I have seen it depicted as a blimp.
It would actually,
usually in really old cartoons when I was...
Right. I could see it being that, to be honest.
Also, fun fact, I just turned 18. I'm no longer a kid.
Yeah. Can't you tell? But sure. He's no longer a kid. Legally, we're not going to go into mentally.
Oh no, mentally, I'm still 5 years old.
There we go.
Well, no, I'll say 13. Mentally, I just hit puberty.
There we go. Oh my God.
Bit of a joke. Anyways.
You're getting way off topic.
I'm sorry,
okay.
Mother.
Okay.
Anyways, so as all these gods and goddesses were born and had taken up their roles, Osiris had actually taken up the throne of Ra, or he wanted to, which he had a right to.
Actually, he'd make more sense in a way.
He was more similar to his father. But Set, he also wanted the throne.
Dun.
Yeah, they're gonna be brothers. They're gonna have rivalry. They're both gonna want the throne. Set is older, so you would think he should have the throne by right. If you're going by the kings have the throne.
Right.
Which this is going by.
Sorta. So then, yeah, usually it's the first male-born son.
However, everyone thought Osiris deserved it, so they kind of just took to him as the leader. And Set was very upset about this.
Oh, why? Oh, I forgot. He wanted it too.
Anyways, so with Osiris taking the throne, he ruled over the Egyptian people and was a good ruler. He ushered in a kind of golden age for the people of Egypt. And with his knowledge of agriculture, which makes sense due to his parents, or due to his father being Geb, the god of earth, and Nut being his mother, the goddess of sky. Which, by the way, if you have been paying attention to the family tree, I don't know how you would have, because
we stayed completely on topic. You should have pen and paper ready every time we start discussing these type things. So you
whenever I start discussing, I have a very bad habit of going off topic.
It's fine.
Anyways, if you've been paying attention, you'll notice a pattern here. Shu and Tefnut begat Geb and Nut. Geb and Nut gave birth to Set, Nephis, Osiris, and Isis. And so who do you think Osiris took as his queen? Isis.
Nah, couldn't be.
Set took the other one that no one knows.
Well, somebody had to know her, or he couldn't have took her. The
Set
one
took
you don't know. Let's just get it straight. Other people may know this god or goddess, but we don't know them.
The lesser known sister, Nephis.
Got it.
Which leads to the good old god and goddess tradition of incest.
No, I never saw that coming. Because, I mean, that's unheard of. Even in any royal family, who's ever heard of incest, inbreeding, cousin marriage? No one!
This doesn't happen in literally every other myth. or every other religion.
It happened in real life in the royal families.
Yeah.
It's insane. But, okay. Then they were sort of the gods of their humanity, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, their eyes at the time, because they would have been kind of like their complete ruler.
I don't know why this is such a thing that it happens in every religion.
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I'm guessing it's just because it's always been a thing. So therefore, whoever wrote these myths and whoever wrote anything else is trying to mirror it to things reality, I guess. I mean, it's...
Yeah, as you pointed out,
it's sad.
Royal families are pretty much the gods among men.
Right. So, I mean, there you go.
Anyways, Osiris and Isis ruled together and brought about the Golden Age, like the first one for the people of Egypt. However, while the people loved Osiris, his brother Set had grown to resent him more and more for him taking the throne. And while nobody can seem to agree on why exactly Set hated his brother, I do think it is simple jealousy. That's just my theory. Because,
yeah.
Seeing as how
sounds like
Set literally kills his brother Osiris to take the throne. Yeah.
Either hatred or jealousy. I mean, he just hated him for just, no real reason. Like maybe the way he was treating the people, but I don't fear he probably gave a crap about the people or whatever. They just wanted to be, the ruler.
He just wanted the power, probably.
Jealousy, definitely.
Anyways, one story of this is actually, a couple of them are kind of funny. One story is when Nephis, who Set's sister wife.
Okay. One of those newfangled terms for y'all. The sister wives. But yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I had to say it
like that.
Like 5 or 6 versions of this story that I've used said it like that.
I don't doubt it. That's technically what they are, but go ahead.
Anyways, they gave birth to Anubis, the jackal-headed god.
Yeah.
And Set accused Nephis of sleeping with Osiris.
Well, did he have a jackal head too?
Nope. He looks like a human.
Oh, well then.
Osiris looks like a green human.
Why green?
His father was Geb.
Oh, he's Earth, but the Earth kind of sleep green.
Then again, all of their fathers were Geb.
Yeah, well, okay.
Anyways, he's just a green human. Which, by the way, for the people who know or have seen or played Mortal Kombat 11, he looks like Kotal Khan, which, nah. Another one is like, I can't remember his name, but he's actually a Native American guy. I can't remember his name.
Not right off, I can't. But anyway. I think you're getting off on a crazy tangent and all.
Anyways. Well, not Native American, but I'd say God. Anyways, what's funny about this is that Set accusing Nephis of sleeping with her brother, where Osiris looks like a green-skinned human, Set looks like a combination of God knows how many animals. Nobody can agree on what Set looks like.
Oh,
no one.
Okay.
I could not find it. But one very common animal people used to describe him. A jackal.
Well, for real, right? I mean, well, I'm confused. It's definitely got to be the green guy then, right?
Definitely the green guy.
I think so.
Definitely the green guy who looks kind of like a human.
Yeah, he'd definitely be having the jackal head baby over the jackal head weirdo that's got a million animal heads. Or whatever. Apparently every head and every animal and nobody can whatever. Okay.
Another reason that Set might have been a bit jealous, his brother kicked him.
He what?
Osiris kicked him.
Kicked him? I thought that's what you said.
That's it.
I understood you.
That's one theory.
A god. And that's what they did to each other. It's 2 gods.
Well, they are brothers.
I don't care. Run up and kick somebody in the shin. And that's, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, that's what happened. He kicked you. My God.
Whatever the reason, Set had it out for his brother big time. And so one day, he had a plan. He disguised himself as a bull and rammed Osiris right into the Nile River.
And Osiris, I'm taking it, can't swim.
No, he gets out perfectly fine. Not a scratch on him.
Okay.
He just went swimming for a bit and then came back in.
What happened to the bull? Or did he go in with it?
Oh no, Set's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, I was worried about that when he had that, he transformed into the bull,
Actually, when he saw Osiris was unharmed, he disguised himself as a crocodile, grabbed his brother, and dragged him into the Nile, where he held him there for hours under the water. Osiris is fine. He just walked out like nothing happened.
Well, what is the point of this? Why does he keep putting him in water?
I don't know. You'll find that Set seems to have an obsession with the Nile.
Obviously. Really? I mean, he's a bull. He rammed him into the Nile. Then he turns into a crocodile, drags him back into the Nile. Oh, he has a little obsession with the Nile. You sure?
Yes.
Okay. But go ahead.
Anyways, with it being painfully clear that Set needed a better plan to kill his brother, sometime during the night, he snuck into Osiris's bedroom, or bedchambers, as it was called, and took his brother's measurements.
Okay.
Then had a box made perfectly in the shape of Osiris. This box was made out of solid gold and was inlaid with jewels all around it, with a solid gold lid.
So like a sarcophagus or something?
It's a sarcophagus.
Okay.
I call it a coffin.
Right.
Later on, but it's a sarcophagus.
I got it.
Just make this perfectly clear. It's actually what sarcophagi look like.
I would imagine so.
Or rather, it's what sarcophagi are made to look like.
Right.
Which will be made clear later on again. Anyways, with his plan set into motion, he went to his family and decided to throw a party and proposed a game. Whoever could fit perfectly into the box could keep it.
Ooh, that sounds like such a good deal.
Now you have to remember, all gods are greedy.
No.
Another very common theme.
Yeah, really, right. Yeah, I've never heard that before.
Anyways, everyone tried, and one by one they all failed until it was Osiris' turn. And he fit perfectly. So while everyone was cheering for him, before anyone could react, Set slammed the solid gold lid onto the box and threw it into the only place he could think of.
The sky?
Nile River.
Oh, the Nile. I was way off. I thought surely the sky or, I don't know.
Again, this house seems obsessed with the Nile for some reason.
And why are they always so close to it?
I don't know.
I mean, he's got to be like right on the banks of it at all times, it sounds like. But whatever.
Apparently no one tried to stop him either.
Oh, well.
No one had any good feelings toward their brother. Not even his sister wife wanted to stop him. Well. Isis did not seem to care, which is a huge contradiction later on. Anyways, the sarcophagus got swept downstream and it was a rough ride.
Nah.
It beat him to death.
Jesus.
The guy couldn't drown, but he got beat to death right inside a coffin.
What? It's not funny.
It's very funny.
It kind of is, because it's, what?
The guy couldn't drown, but he could be beaten to death in a coffin riding down river.
Was the whole thing made of gold or just the lid?
Yes. The whole thing was made of gold. You'd think it would sink, but no.
Yeah, you would.
Also, it's a river. I don't know if the Nile River is that deep.
I don't.
It might be.
It's probably deep. I mean, I don't know how deep it is off the top of my head or anything, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be
You would
like
think it
shallow.
would sink. You don't think it would just float down river like
and
that.
And even if it did, you'd think gold, it wouldn't be like wood or something. It would give you a little bit of protection or something, I guess. But I don't know. Okay, since he fits so perfectly in it, you wouldn't think there'd be any move to be moving around.
Not much room, not enough for you to be beaten to death, like thrashed around in it so much that you die.
Right. But, okay.
Anyways,
well, that's
he ended up resting on the shore of a nearby kingdom called Byblos.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, also the box was airtight, so he kind of suffocated to death.
But he couldn't drown.
No. This is the story.
So he's got gills.
Maybe.
Since he can still breathe, you see, but he's got to get some air in him somehow. Okay, proceed.
Anyways, yeah. He is beaten and suffocated to death, trapped inside the box. However, beside this box was a sapling. And this sapling was somehow enchanted by the god's aura.
Okay.
And then it grew to be a massive heather tree.
Mm-hmm.
And this tree just grew overnight and completely encased the box with the corpse of Osiris.
Oh, as trees do.
Yes.
You know, they just fully grow overnight and all that. You know.
And then rumors of this magical tree reached the kingdom of Byblos. And the king had ordered that this massive tree must be used as a central column for the new palace.
Oh, of course.
However, he was unaware of the coffin inside.
Well, yeah, it was completely encased by the tree.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, it wasn't long before rumors of a quick-growing tree reached the ears of Isis for some reason.
yeah, because I mean, right. Why, you know, why wouldn't it? I'm sure it was like in the what?
It was probably the talk of the town.
The Cairo News Daily or something. I don't know. She had to have been reading it. I mean, I don't know. But
maybe.
Anyway, yeah.
Nothing's impossible.
Right. Okay.
Anyways, she went to investigate, and she immediately noticed the coffin.
Encased in the tree.
Yes.
But nobody else could.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
She just immediately noticed it and ordered, "Give me the coffin." And so they did.
Okay. And so,
well, you don't argue with a goddess.
Well, yeah, I guess you don't, but it was supposed to be enchanted with his essence aura. You'd think it wouldn't be that easy to, you know, hack it. Wouldn't I have to chop it down or chop into it to get the coffin out?
No idea.
I mean,
she is a goddess. Maybe she just magicked it out.
Well, maybe, but, oh, okay. But still, it looks like it would have some defense, protection or something. It's like, no, man, I ain't going, you know, I guess it didn't. So that was a big lead up to just kind of like, well, here you go.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I mean, no, like, no, we will never let you out. But no.
Again, you don't argue with the goddess.
Okay. I guess so.
Unless she smoked you down.
I suppose that's true. Didn't think about that.
Anyways. So she just loaded the sarcophagus with Osiris' body onto her boat on the Nile.
Oh,
and then just.
So it wasn't a solar ship?
Nope.
Okay. Oh, the Nile again? Oh, good God. I mean, I know the Nile would have been important, but my goodness, I don't think it's like every aspect of their life, every thought consumed by it.
You'd be surprised with Set.
Apparently.
Because it comes up again with him.
I don't see it coming. I think you're wrong. But, okay, we'll see where this goes.
Also, I stress to mention, she didn't open the coffin. She just took it.
Okay.
She didn't check on Osiris' body.
Okay.
Anyways, it's on her boat. She goes back home, not explaining where home is exactly. But, oh well. And, yeah. Set took the throne while she was gone because why not? I wanted it, so he took it.
Door. What was this all for?
And then she just been completely shut out of her own home. Well, of course. Yeah. It actually does make sense because she was Osiris' sister wife.
Yeah, she's been really concerned about him up to this point.
Yes.
So, yeah, I could definitely see this being a reaction that needed to be taken over someone who was just so worried about where something, whatever.
Anyways, she actually hid the sarcophagus in the reeds on the bank of the Nile. And then one night, while he was hunting by moonlight, because that's a thing gods do, Set found it.
Oh my God.
And he was livid.
Oh, really? Okay.
Seeing his brother's body, he was so mad that he cut him up completely dismembered him.
Well, that would be a perfectly normal reaction. I mean, what else would...
I mean, if he wanted to make the body disappear, yeah, because he just strewn parts of him all throughout Egypt.
Yeah, I mean, what else could you do at that point?
And then here's the real kicker. He threw his junk into the Nile.
Oh my! You make a point of saying that, really?
Yes.
Come on.
It comes into play later, trust me.
Let's hope so.
It was eaten by a fish.
Okay.
And the only part of his body.
Okay.
I don't know why. Like, the
Oh
story,
my God, but
the story I took this specific part from said that Set was so mad that he devised a special plan for this part.
Oh my God. He sure did. But anyway.
I don't know why he didn't just throw the whole body into the Nile.
I have no idea.
Odds are the fish would have devoured it.
Possibly.
And that would have been it for him, but no. Anyways, Isis comes back, finds her brother husband's body just gone. Not a trace to be found. No blood, anything.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, so she was devastated. And then Nephis saw her. And so Isis just transformed into this giant bird. I think it was a falcon.
Oh yeah, as you would, you know.
And then just flew off, crying so much that she flooded the Nile.
Oh my. Okay. Okay.
Nephis, seeing this, decided that she would also transform into a bird and help her sister find the husband's body.
What?
Find Osiris' body.
Of course.
I completely blanked on his name for some reason. Anyways,
what else could she do?
So they search for his body, and they find it little by little. It's unclear how. There are a couple different theories. One, that Geb just uncovered it for them and just
showed it to them more or less. Okay.
The other being Nut just used magical winds to comb through the land.
Yeah. Well.
Just as valid.
Right. Whichever.
And then my personal favorite, they stumbled upon him by sheer dumb luck.
Well, I think that could be true. Maybe they just look for the circling vultures. I don't know.
It could have worked. That very well could be a valid theory.
I don't know. Okay.
But anyways, the sisters, they just reassembled the body.
Well, of course. What else could you do?
Most of the body.
Oh, yes. The fish gonna come into play.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's the last of the fish and his jaw. Almost.
Oh, okay. I thought that was...
Anyways, so they reassembled the body and used magic with the power of Anubis and just brought him back to life. Osiris used her wings to fan life right into his lungs. And also Anubis used his knowledge of embalming, which exists for some reason, and turns him into basically a mummy. And he's alive again.
Well, okay.
And then Osiris and Isis consummate.
Well, of course.
Think about it. How? Osiris is missing a very vital part of his body for this.
I don't know.
And Isis ends up pregnant. Again, somehow.
Uh-huh.
And apparently the action was too much for Osiris. He died again.
Oh my God. Really?
The second time. And due to him being a mummified, whatever, he couldn't be resurrected again. He was allowed into the afterlife, which exists.
Okay. So you gotta go, okay.
And him being unable to, do anything. He kind of just lived there and stayed.
Okay. Hung out.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Eventually, he took on the role of overseer, judge, jury, executioner, that kind of thing.
Right.
Whether he would allow people into heaven or hell, the Egyptian equivalent. And he had a son. I need to search my notes for this because I can't remember the name Horus for some reason. He had a son named Horus. And as Horus grew up, he kind of was raised or to believe that he needed to avenge the death of his father, Osiris.
Well, of course.
His double death.
Well, yeah, true.
Anyways, a few years in the future, after Horus had reached maturity, he was actually raised to be the polar opposite of his uncle Set, where Horus represented light, order, and political power.
Uh-huh.
Which again, very specific.
It is.
Political power.
Yeah, really.
Anyways, they kind of fought, and with this being more than a simple confrontation between gods, their fight was symbolic of the eternal fight between order and chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And in most versions of the myth, their combat never ends.
Okay, well.
It's more of a back and forth. One god wins one fight, the other wins another, which is supposed to symbolize the understanding of balance.
Right.
And I like to envision it as one throws a punch, then takes a punch, then throws a punch, then takes a punch.
Okay.
Never ending.
Never ending. Rock'em sock'em robots.
Pretty much. I was trying to think of the name of that, but I couldn't.
Yep.
Anyways, with this being the way that was, in one of these fights, Horus actually loses one eye, which is then referred to as the Eye of Horus.
Right.
One of the biggest symbols.
Yeah.
Or one of the most well-known symbols, rather.
Right. Definitely.
He actually ended up having it healed. As if it never happened.
Well, I guess that would come in handy. Just heal me as if, okay.
Yeah. But then, here's where it gets very funny and very disgusting.
No.
This conflict was said to end in one story, when Horus offered Set a lettuce leaf.
Okay.
In which was his divine seed.
Oh my God. Really?
Yes. I could not make this up if I tried.
Oh my God.
And Set consumes it. Which was seen as a very, very great shame. Naturally, because it very much would be.
Oh God. Yeah, I guess so.
But what was shameful wasn't that it was seed. It was Horus' divine seed. The seed of order.
Oh my God.
Like the exact phrasing in the story that I based this one part off of.
Mm-hmm.
This was a great humiliation for Set, who now had the seed of order inside of him.
Okay. Why? Alrighty.
And so that's it. This story was like 5 or 6 different stories meshed together because these stories are not long, really.
Right.
So I had to more or less just mesh them together. They are correct, at least from what I understand. I made sure to put them together to where it would kind of fit, to where it would seem like one narrative. And I don't know, I think I did a good job.
Yeah. We learned a lot. A lot more than we wanted to know in some areas. But, okay.
There were a few other stories I wanted to add, but I wasn't sure if I'd have time, and it's about 47 minutes right now, 46. So, that will be it for this episode. Like I said, let us know if you want another episode on mythologies. If you want me to cover another Egyptian story.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Oh, God. Like I said, this will be the last episode I do on mythologies for my planned future. I may still do one every now and then as an extra episode. We do plan on doing like 2 episodes a week if we can.
Right.
We'll try to do like one video or one actual video episode to upload to YouTube. And then maybe one just episode like this, one podcast episode.
Right.
So I guess this is where I will hand it off to the Belle for her to tell you about her episode.
Okay, so next week we're going to pick up where we're talking about we're going to do 1 week storytelling or folklore, things like that, fairy tales, and then the next week we're going to turn it back over to the gentleman to do cryptids. So, starting in that tradition, we're going to start with fairy tales that originated in England. for all of our UK folks who've been giving us a lot of support. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to stay disturbed.